I'm here with our great members of the our San Diego Police Department and Fire and Rescue. I always get it. Fire and Rescue Department, because they have taught me so much in the recent election campaign about the needs of our communities in public safety. We have become, I have to say, dangerously close to a dangerous level of staffing and equipment with both our police and our fire department. There are communities that are extremely understaffed. Fire response times, because of the budget, are not even at what the minimal standards that have to be supposedly maintained. And I had made a promise during the campaign: we're going to do everything possible at every time that we can to increase the equipment, the staffing levels, and the working conditions of our police officers and firefighters. And I mean, I intend to fulfill that promise. I always use Jeff Jordan. Jeff, where do you go now?
Over here, sir.
Who's the vice president of Police Officers Association. He taught me the expression "cross your fingers policing." That is, they cross their fingers when they go to when they're called out on a situation that nothing else will happen while they are there, because they are spread so thin. And I said we're going to increase at every level. Toward the end of the campaign, we had a press conference. I guess was I already elected? But I was before I was sworn in. We had a press conference at Station 33 in Rancho Bernardo, the fire station, that said I would recommend to the City Council that $22 million out of a $27 million windfall that we had from a San Diego Gas and Electric suit be appropriated towards our public safety departments. And the chief of both fire and police gave us a list of that $22 million, and I hope to pursue that with the City Council. There were some, I think, negative reactions, but we're going to pursue that attempt to get that money. Now, it had nothing to do with my election, I don't think, but recently the California Supreme Court ruled that there's a case of the city of Alhambra versus the county of L.A., that counties throughout California had been miscalculating the administrative fees that they charged to allocate property taxes to the cities. They had an overhead amount that they had overcharged. So the county was determined that refunds are appropriate for the 18 incorporated cities in our county. So all 18 of us will get a refund from the county. Ours will be $6.9 million, and we're going to get a check for that very soon. What I'm going to recommend to the City Council that this $6.9 million go directly and solely to the police and fire departments' capital needs and eventually, of course, staffing needs. So I'll be working with the City Council to try to make sure that, and the recommendation I will make in the budget, that these funds are distributed toward really the neighborhoods of San Diego. These folks are in the neighborhoods protecting them. I promise that neighborhoods would be first. And everywhere I go, people say they wish they had this what we used to call community service officers are now called PSOs, which police service officers, and people understand that response times are not adequate, and people understand that there's only one fire truck in a community to serve 23 and a half square miles. So we're going to try to meet these needs. I said that again and again in the campaign. I'm going to say it every chance I get as mayor, that when we have ability to get money, it's these men and women who serve us every day that need the help to continue to serve us at the highest quality that we can. I would like to ask just Marty Emerald, my partner on the City Council, who has led the way to try to say that her communities and all the communities in San Diego should get better budget priority, and she will be working with me to make sure that happens. Councilmember Emerald.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for this great news, Mayor Filner. $7 million, that could go a long way toward putting more officers on the street, or buying fire equipment, or upgrading our communication systems. Of course, we'll leave it to our police chief and our fire chief the top administrators of these public safety agencies to decide how the money is to be spent. But this is a tremendous windfall, and certainly I'll lead the way on the city council to make sure that that money goes where it needs to go. It makes sense that our number one priority must be public safety. That's the core priority of government on any level, and so I'll urge my colleagues on the council to make sure it goes to our public safety agencies. That and the money that we hope to reallocate from that public liability fund to public safety, and that money from SDG&E, it makes absolute sense that the money we recover from damages from wildfires should go to enhancing public safety, so that the next time, and unfortunately we know there will be a next time, that we will have the resources we need to stop these terrible fires before they come into the city of San Diego, or to minimize the damage. So you've got my support, and I want to thank again our public service agencies, the men and women of the police and fire rescue departments, for all you do. And thank you very much, and I hope that this money will help.
Thank you, Marty. Several weeks ago, I asked both Chief Lansdowne and Chief Maynard to stay on the job because they were doing such a good job, and they had the confidence of the men and women who work for them. In the weeks since then, I have only been reinforced in the belief that that was a great decision, and we thank them for continuing. I see the Chief of Police at community meetings all over San Diego. He has defined fighting crime as in a very broad sense, that we have to talk about education, that we have to talk about the way the community responds to the police, that we have to talk about gang prevention. He wants to prevent his men and women from having to deal with situations, and that's by basically the cheapest and the most effective way to do it. Chief Lansdowne, thank you for what you're doing, and you might want to comment on some of the needs that the recommendations that I got through you for the use of that SDG&E money, and for this new money from the County of San Diego.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and Marty Emerald. I very much appreciate the opportunity to speak today as we look at providing better services to the community of San Diego and all those people we serve, and finding the equipment to allow our officers to do their job. Some of the areas that we are very much concerned in, we're seeing an increase in the crime rate for the first time in multiple years, and the first time that I can recall where we've seen an increase in the crime rate across every category that we have in Part 1 crimes. It's about 10%, and to be able to bring that back down, there's some critical needs for us right now. We're looking at the academies and adding people to the academies because we have an attrition rate that's running between 7 and 8 people a month. This month, it's almost 20 because of some changes in the retirement system. For us, the CAD system is what we've asked for with the mayor, and certainly Marty Emerald to take a look at that. It's 25 years old. It runs
Tell
on
them what it means, Chief.
the communication system. It's the radios. It's the lifeblood of both what police and fire does. As we saw those two great fires come at the city of San Diego, and we were able to get everybody out without losing any lives or any injuries, it's because we're able to talk to each other. But that system's starting to break down. We're having more and more situations where the system has stopped working, and we have to go back to handwritten reports and handwritten information to be able to deal with that. Our range that we have is antiquated and needs to be rebuilt, and certainly we need to put together a plan for crime reduction. We've done that. We're going to roll that out next month. All of that has an expense to it, and this is just a wonderful opportunity for us to take a look at the availability of some monies to be able to put those programs into place. So I am deeply grateful. Certainly to Mayor Filner, and certainly to Marty Emerald, and certainly the council, that we take a look at this and say the priority of the city of San Diego is public safety, because we do in fact serve the community, and the community really relies on the decisions that the mayor and the council make every single day. So I thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
I just, for the record, that the increase in the crime rate came in the previous administration. Chief Maynard, again, we thank you for your continued willingness to serve our community. The men and women that you lead have had a tough time in the last years trying to keep their morale up. They want to do a professional job. They have not been given the resources to do it. Their paycheck has been under attack, and they haven't seen any rise in that. We're going to try to show them there's light at the end, or there's light there somewhere, and we know that their equipment and their fellow staff members is important to their morale as their benefits and their pay. So we're going to try to improve them all, and we look forward to working with you to do that. Chief Maynard.
Well, thank you, Mayor Filner. Thank you as well for the opportunity to be with here. Councilmember Emerald has long been a supporter of public safety and has done a tremendous job on Public Safety and Neighborhood Services Committee. The mayor is true to his word. He has been saying that public safety is a priority, and I can tell you during his short tenure, I've had ample opportunity to share with him that no fewer than 3 studies in the last 7 years have shown that our fire rescue department cannot meet response times within our city because we simply have too few fire stations and firefighters. Through the help of Councilmember Emerald and PSNS, we have a plan, a 5-year plan to address the deficiencies. There are 19 gaps in our coverage. We need to build 10 fire stations and staff them. We have 9 other smaller gaps we can deal with in a different manner. But while the plans have been in existence for some time, it's the funding that is always the issue. So I certainly appreciate the leadership you're showing early on in your administration to say public safety is a priority for our city. Our firefighters do try to do a great job, and they do provide a high level of service throughout the community, but they need some help. We simply have too few resources in the city of San Diego. So thank you to both of you for your leadership.
Thank you, Chief. We have also, for any questions you have later, Frank the clerk, who's head of the Firefighters Association. And Jeff Jordan is the Vice President of Police Officers Association. We thank for your support and teaching me about the needs. It's being cost ineffective when we spend $140,000 or so to train an officer, and then because of a poor pension or a poor working conditions or lack of morale, they leave. And we spend more money training them than we ever get back in the service because we have not invested in their futures. So we intend to do that. I would like to take the 5-year plans and make them 2.5 or 3-year plans if we can do it, because we need them now. And we're going to do everything we can to get them what they need.